Wrexham's had an amazing journey these last 3 years with back-to-back-to-back promotions. In 2023, they achieved promotion to League 2. In 2024, they achieved promotion to League 1. And just recently, they've achieved promotion to Championship. Will this amazing run continue next year, achieving promotion to Premier League? While we wait for that answer, we're going to rebuild Wrexham in FC25, not only taking them up to Premier League, but also making them a regular team in European competitions and becoming the best team in the world by winning the Champions League. This will be the rebuild rules. We're only allowed 4 transfers per season, and we can't use free agents, regions or youth academy players. Also, we'll be starting in League 1, as I started recording these a couple of days before Wrexham achieved promotion to Championship. So let's crack on and see how far we can get with this team. This is the budget for this season. We only have £2 million, so we'll have to use it wisely. Let's see if we have some potential players to transfer, so we can make some extra money. So it doesn't look like we have many players with a high value, and we'll probably need majority of them to try to keep a strong team. Also, there's a lot of players with their contracts expiring by the end of the season, so we'll have to spend part of the budget renewing the ones that we want to keep in the squad. These are the players I have decided to add in the transfer list. There are way too many strikers and goalkeepers in this team, and in general the squad is quite long, so we'll try to make as much money as possible from transfers so we can also improve our coaches. We've long listed the youngest players in the squad to see if they can improve somewhere else, where they could get more minutes to play, although they don't look like they have much potential now. At the moment, this is our starting 11 and bench players. Our priority is to get a right or left midfielder, as Longman can play on either side, but we'll need someone else. Also, we want to improve our centre backs and our right and left backs. But for now we don't have much money, so we'll have to try and sell as many players as we can from the transfer list shown before. These are the coaches we hired. We can't get the best ones yet, but we will be improving them along the rebuild. So these are the players we've managed to sell during the first transfer market. We've sold Boyle, Palmer, O'Connor and Mendy, also Evans, Howard, Cannon and Fall. We've also achieved 3 loan deals for Hall, Ashfield and Dean, so let's see now the players who will be joining us in this first transfer market. Our first transfer is a very young right midfielder from Poland who has a great potential. For now he'll probably start from the bench, but I believe he can help us a lot in order to achieve promotion to Championship this year. So we welcome Franciszek Franczak to our club. He joins us after exchanging him for Jack Marriott, a player who was in our transfer list to leave the club. Our second transfer is a centre attack midfielder, as we only have one in the squad. We welcome Lennart Kahl, joining us from Bayern Munich for a £770,000 transfer. Our third and final transfer for this transfer market is a young right back from the Netherlands with a big potential. We only have Barnett as our main right back, although he can also play as right midfielder. So this new player has come to be a key player in the starting 11. We welcome Elijah Dijkstra, who joins us on a £900,000 transfer. This is the team at the end of the transfer market. As mentioned before, Dijkstra will play as right back and will move Barnett as right midfielder. I've tried to buy or loan in several players, but many rejected as they didn't want to relocate, as we cannot get players who would actually want to join us and at the same time who would increase the team's level. Then we won't make the last and fourth transfer for now. There are some players who we haven't been able to sell yet, and hopefully we do during the winter transfer market. Also, Smith is injured at the moment, but it's only for 9 days, so it shouldn't be a problem. So let's move on and see where we are in January. So it's the 1st of January and we're in 2nd position. This is good since this year we must achieve promotion, but we have the same points as the 3rd team, so we need to do much better on the 2nd half of the season. Let's see the player stats. Longman has been our best player with 18 goals and 4 assists. Smith has scored 8 goals, but being our main striker, I believe he could have done better. Good stats for James, Rathbone and Dobson. Barnett has been the player with the most assists in the team, so it was a good decision to change him to right midfielder. We've sold 2 players during the winter transfer market, McNicholas and Bolton. This is the team at the end of the winter transfer market. We still have some players in the squad that we haven't been able to sell yet. Also, we haven't made the 4th and last transfer as the players that could improve the team don't want to join, so I didn't want to buy anyone who would not give us any plus. So hopefully we achieve promotion, and once in championship we'll be able to get better players. So let's move on to the end of the season and see what happens. So we're in position 3, which means we have to play the promotion playoffs. We were expecting for direct promotion, but it's still possible to promote. And we'll be facing Barnsley on the first leg of the playoffs. Let's move on to the next stage and see what happens. Okay, so we've passed to the final of the promotion playoffs and we'll be facing Rotherham United. Let's move on and see if we managed to win this match. And we did it. We won the final of the promotion playoffs and we'll be playing in championship next season. It looks like it was a tight match, but the main thing is that we achieved our main objective. Let's see what's happening in all the other competitions. Manchester City has won the FA Cup. Let's see how far we've made it in this competition. It looks like we didn't make it too far. We didn't even reach the 3rd round. And we got eliminated in round 2 against Wimbledon. Sheffield United has won the Carabao Cup. Let's see how far we've made it here. So it looks like we were eliminated earlier too. And yeah, we lost in the 1st round against Milton Keynes. Steven Nash has won the VSM Trophy, the now called Virtue Trophy. Real Madrid has won the UEFA Super Cup. And Real Madrid has also won the Champions League. Fenerbahce has won the Europa League, and Genk has won the Conference League. These are the team stats, and Smith has had a very good 2nd half of the season. He had only scored 8 goals by January and now he's reached 26. Longman and James have been key with both their goals and assists. Rathbone and Dobson have had good stats too. And even though Brunt is a centre-back, he has scored 4 goals. Barnett is still the player with most assists, 12 in total, and has shown he's very important in this team. So let's move on to the next season. We have a much bigger budget for this season, so hopefully we can make significant improvements in the squad. McLean is retiring at the end of the season and his overall level has decreased too, so we'll have to find a good left back with growth potential. This is the current starting 11 and bench players. Some of them have improved quite a lot from the previous season, but we need to add more quality into this team if we want to do good in championship. And before adding new players in the team, these are the players we've transferred in this transfer market. We've sold Scar, Davies and Lee. Also Revan, O'Connell and Ashfield. And finally, Hall, Adam and Dean. All these players were either too old with no room for improvement or younger players with no growth potential. So here we have our first transfer of the season. As mentioned before, we need a new left back, so we've chosen a young Welsh defender who I believe will help increase the overall team's performance. We welcome Owen back into the team. He joins us from Liverpool on a £2,700,000 transfer. Our second transfer is a player who I tried buying the previous season, but he didn't want to join us in League One. However, things are different now in Championship and he's joining us to improve our midfield. We welcome Jordan James, joining us on a £3,700,000 transfer. Our third transfer is a player who joins us to be the leader of our defense. He's a very young centre-back with a huge potential. We welcome Aidan Heaven to the club, joining us on a £2,300,000 transfer. And our fourth and last transfer of this season is a young striker. Smith has had a great performance so far, but he's not a young striker and increasing his level significantly would be unlikely. So we welcome Jayden Dance, joining us on an exchange deal for Dalby plus £510,000. This is the team at the end of the transfer market. I think our objective is to reach at least middle table of Championship, but I think it's unlikely we could achieve promotion to Premier League yet. With the only 4 transfers we made, there are still many positions, especially in the bench, that need improving. Jay Rodriguez is retiring at the end of the season, and as mentioned before, Paul Mullen will stay until the end of the rebuild. So let's move on to January and see where we are. It's the 1st of January and we're in position 9, 3 points away from promotion playoffs positions. We expected this situation, but hopefully we can end up in playoff positions by the end of the season. Smith has been once more the player with more goals scored, and he's probably high in the assist list too. James has played all matches and contributed with goals, but the main thing is his overall rating has increased a lot in just half a season. Rathbone and Longman continue being important players for this team. I expected Dance to maybe score more goals, but the main thing is he's increased his overall quite a lot too. Beck has been a great addition. Being a left back, he's scored 4 goals and made 3 assists. And finally, Barnett and Dobson keep being the players with the most assists in the squad. This is the team at the end of the winter market. We haven't made any more transfers as we have already used the 4 available. So let's move to the end of the season and see how we do. So we're in position 10, which means we'll stay in Championship next season. We have a lot of players in the team who are young and need to improve, but next season we must achieve promotion to Premier League. Let's see what's happening in all the other competitions. Southampton has won the promotion playoffs and will be playing in Premier League next season. Newcastle has won the FA Cup. Manchester City has won the Carabao Cup. Real Madrid has won again the UEFA Super Cup. FC Barcelona has won the Champions League. Wolfsburg has won the Europa League. And Bergamo Calcio, so Atalanta, has won the Conference League. So Smith and James keep leading the goals stats, but this last half of the season it looks like Carl has been playing more and has scored 10 goals, which is great. Beck has scored more goals too, so it's great to see how all the young players who joined the team are improving, although Dance has not really had a big improvement regarding goals on this last half of the season. Again, Barnett and Dobson leading the assist stats. And before we finish the season, we have to say goodbye to McLean, James and Rodriguez, who are retiring. So let's move on to the next season. The budget for this season is not very high, only 6 million. So we'll have to sell some players that until now have been important, but who don't have much room for improvement. So our first sale is Barnett, who has helped us a lot with his assist, but his overall level is stuck. And we've also sold Rathbone for the same reason. We will invest this money on younger players who will raise the team level. And the first transfer is a centre attacking midfielder who has come to replace Rathbone. I believe he will become a key player in this club as he has room for a big improvement. We welcome Luke Harris, joining us from Fulham on an almost £4 million transfer. Our second transfer has come to keep improving our defense. He will join Heaven as centre-back, and I'm sure the two of them together will grow a lot and improve the overall level of the team. We welcome Jordi Mocchio, joining us on an almost £2.5 million transfer. Our third transfer has come to improve our midfield as we only have James and Dobson at the moment, with the second one not having much room for improvement due to his age. So we welcome Charlie Crew, joining us from Leeds United on a £2,300,000 transfer. And our fourth and last transfer of the season is a very young right and also left midfielder who joins us to replace Barnett. He has a huge potential, and this season in Championship could help him improve enough. So next year he can be key for us if we promote to Premier League. We welcome Dani Fernandez, joining us on a £2,300,000 transfer. This is the team at the end of the transfer market. Some players have improved a lot, like James, Okongwu, Beck, Heaven, Dijkstra and Dan. As mentioned before, the objective this year is to achieve promotion to Premier League. So let's move on to January and see where we are. It's the 1st of January and we're in position 3, so promotion playoffs position. However, we're 6 points away from direct promotion. It's not bad, but hopefully we can be a bit higher by the end of the season. Let's check the players' stats. So Harris has been a great addition with 12 goals and 6 assists, and Dance looks like has improved a lot this season, having scored 12 goals too and with 2 assists. This first half of the season looks like Smith has played a lot less. James keeps being one of our best players, this time with more goals than assists though, and Longman keeps being a key player too. The team at the end of the winter market is the same, as we have already used the 4 available transfers this season. We can see though how almost every player has increased their overall level during the first half of the season. So let's move on and find out if we've managed to achieve promotion to Premier League. So we've ended up 2nd with the same points as the 3rd, which means we'll be playing in Premier League next season. With this objective achieved, I think probably the aim for next season is to end up in mid-table, but we'll see that later on. Let's check now all other competitions. Luton Town has won the promotion playoffs and will be joining us along with Burnley in Premier League next season. Manchester City has won the FA Cup and they have also won the Carabao Cup. FC Barcelona has won the UEFA Super Cup. So this Champions League final is the same as the one in real life this year. Inter Milan against PSG. PSG is the winner. Benfica has won the Europa League and Tottenham has won the Conference League. Harris and Dance have ended up the season with great stats. Lots of goals plus assists from Harris. Both Fernandes and Longman have been key players. 11 goals both of them and lots of assists too. James has increased his assists too in this second half of the season, and Beck keeps being a very offensive left back. The overall level of almost all players has increased a lot, so hopefully they'll perform well in Premier League. So let's move on to the next season. So the budget for this season is a lot higher, which means we'll hopefully be able to invest it on better players. Let's check what's the current situation with the team. The team has improved a lot in general. For our starting 11, we may add a new midfielder as Dobson is getting older and not improving much, and it looks like Crew is not progressing as fast as other players. Franchak's progress is also stuck, so probably I'll try to send him and Crew on loan to another team. Longman's progress has not improved much either due to age as well, so we may try to find a new addition for the left midfield. Finally, we probably should improve as well our bench goalkeeper. So as mentioned before, we've loaned out Franchak and Crew, and we've sold Bran and Burton as neither of them was having a big impact on the team. Our first transfer is joining us to improve our midfield. As we mentioned, Dobson's progress is limited now, so we need a key midfielder to play along with James. We welcome Scottish player David Watson to the club, joining us from Juventus on a £7,200,000 transfer. We mentioned that Longman's progress was also stuck, so our second transfer is joining us to be our main left midfielder in the team. He's already an excellent player, but still has a lot of room for improvement. We welcome Luis Kumas, joining us on a £9,500,000 transfer. We don't have any bench player that can play as left or right back, so our third transfer will be covering that position. We welcome Javi Amas, joining us on an almost £4 million transfer. Our fourth and last transfer is coming to be for now our bench goalkeeper. He's young and has a great potential, so he could become a key player if Okonkwo's progress is stuck in the next seasons. We welcome Thiago Pereira Cardoso, joining us on a £4,700,000 transfer. This is the team at the end of the transfer market. The objective this season is to stay in Premier League in the middle of the table at least. We'll be trying to improve our bench positions and depth of bench too during the next season, but for now let's move on and see where we are in January. It's the 1st of January and we're in position 15, only 3 points away from relegation positions, but also 3 points away from position 8, so anything can still happen. For now, let's see our players' stats. Danz and Javis continue to be the leaders when it comes to goals. James and Fernandez have contributed in both goals and assists. And finally, Kumas has been a good addition with his 4 assists and 1 goal. This is the team at the end of the winter transfer market. No transfers made as we have already used the 4 available transfers. So let's move on and see where we are at the end of the season. So we end the season in position 14, 12 points away from relegation positions, which is not bad for being the first season back to Premier League. However, next season we should try to qualify for a European competition. Let's check the outcome of all other competitions. Leicester City has won the FA Cup. Let's see how we did in this competition. It looks like we were eliminated early. And yeah, we lost against Leeds United in round 4. Chelsea has won the Carabao Cup. Let's see how we did in this competition. Again, it looks like we were eliminated early. And yeah, we lost on penalties against Birmingham City in round 2. PSG has won the UEFA Super Cup, and they've also won the Champions League for the 2nd consecutive year. Roma has won the Europa League, and Valencia has won the Conference League. Let's check our players' stats. Like in January, Danz and Javis continue to be the leaders when it comes to goals and this time with assists too. James Fernandez and Kumas have been key players too. Also, Watson has contributed with 6 assists and 2 goals on his first season with us. Hopefully he can grow more as a player and give us more. So let's move on to the next season. The budget for this season is not amazing, so we'll see what we can do to improve the team. Okongwo has submitted a transfer request. I didn't want to sell him as he's part of the original squad, but it looks like Pereira Cardoso has played more than him as he has been improving much faster. Therefore, I have accepted one of the transfer offers we've received for Okongwo as it will help us to improve the team. He will be joining Freiburg on a £14 million transfer. As we don't have a second goalkeeper, our first transfer is joining us to fill that gap. It looks like he'll be our bench goalkeeper, but we'll see how much he can improve. In this transfer, we have included Dobson as part of the deal, as he's not improved or had much playtime in the team during the last season. We welcome Plum and Andriyev, joining us on an exchange deal for Dobson, plus £1,200,000. I have decided to sell 2 more players who didn't have much playtime either during the previous season. Franchak, who has not progressed as we expected, and Smith, who probably due to age is not giving us much anymore. So our second transfer is a striker who I believe will give us a lot along with Dan. He's very young and has a great potential. Hopefully he brings the extra goals we need to be a much better team and be able to qualify for European competitions. We welcome Milos Lukovic, joining us on a £9,300,000 transfer. Javis has been great as centre attack midfielder, but his substitute, Carl, has not improved much this last season. So our third transfer is a player that comes to play that role, although he can also play as centre midfielder. We welcome Joao Simoes to the club, joining us on a £13 million transfer. And our fourth and last transfer is a player that will help improve our centre-back. At the moment, our centre-back in the bench was Clearworth, but he's not improved much for the last 2 seasons, so we want to make sure any players from the bench can help the team if needed. So we welcome Charlie Hughes, joining us on a £9,300,000 transfer. This is the team at the end of the transfer market. The objective for next season will be to buy a left or right back and also a left or right midfielder. But for now, I'm happy with the overall level of this team and I hope we manage to qualify for at least Europa League this season. So let's move on to January and see where we are. It's the 1st of January and we're in position 12, so we need to improve a lot, although our main objective is still achievable. Let's see our players' stats. Dan's performance has been amazing, 17 goals with 2 assists. Harris has scored less goals so far, but he's still one of our best players when it comes to goals and assists, along with James, Fernandez and Kumas. Also, Watson continues giving us assists and his overall level has increased considerably too. And finally, I'm a bit disappointed so far with Lukovic, who hasn't scored any goals or played much so far. This is the team at the end of the winter transfer market. No transfers made as we have already used the 4 available transfers. I believe this team can do better as almost all players have increased their overall level a lot. So let's move on and see where we are at the end of the season. So we're in position 6, not sure if it means Europa League, as not sure if here in the game the new 5 positions for Champions League are applying or not, so we'll see in the next season if we play in Europa League. Let's see what's happening in all the other competitions. Tottenham has won the FA Cup. Let's see how we did in this competition. And we were eliminated in round 5 against Liverpool. I think this is the best we've done so far in the FA Cup in this rebuild. Manchester City has won the Carabao Cup. Let's see how we did in this competition. And we lost against Manchester United in round 3. PSG has won the UEFA Super Cup. Manchester City has won the Champions League. Real Madrid has won the Europa League. And Olympique de Marseille has won the Conference League. So it looks like Lukovic has played more than Dans during the second half of the season and has ended with 15 goals and 3 assists, which is quite good. Harris, James, Kumas and Fernandez have increased their stats considerably too. Watson keeps being the assist leader with some goals contribution too. And finally, Mokyo and Beck have also contributed positively with goals and assists even though they're defenders. So let's move on to the next season. The budget this season is again not great, so we'll have to think well how we use it. So we've sold Carl, he hasn't improved as expected, so this money can help us with other transfers. And for the same reasons, we've sold Crew. We had high expectations, but he never contributed much to the team. Our first player is a young Swiss midfielder, who hopefully will help James and Watson and can help us have that extra that we need in order to be one of the top teams in the league. We welcome Korsin Kanjitsky, joining us on a £9,700,000 transfer. We've also sold Clevers as he wasn't contributing much, and with Hughes, Heaven and Mokyo, we have our centre-back defence covered. Javi Amas hasn't had much contribution to the team as Beck and Dijkstra have had almost all the playtime. Therefore, our second transfer is a very young Croatian right-back who has a huge potential. We welcome Noah Mikic, joining us on a £9,600,000 transfer. Our third transfer is a left midfielder who joins us to help our attack. Kumas and Fernandez are key players, but Longman hasn't been improving much during the last season, so I believe this new player will be a great addition to the team. We welcome Berat Lush, joining us on a 1-year loan deal as we don't have enough budget to make a transfer for a player like him. So our 6th position in Premier League during the previous season has granted us the chance to participate in Europa League this season. Hopefully we can at least make it to the next round, but we'll see that later on. For now, this is the team at the end of the transfer market. Many players have improved a lot, like Lukovic, Harris, James, Beck, Pereira Cardoso and almost the whole team. We've done so far 3 transfers this season and we'll wait until the winter transfer market to see what we need as a possible 4th transfer. This season the main objective is to try to qualify for Champions League. So let's move on to January and see where we are. It's the 1st of January and we're in position 4, so it's really good as it means Champions League, even though we have the same points as the 5th. Let's check how we're doing so far in Europa League. So we're in position 20 of the Europa League, but there are still 2 matches left to be played of the league stage in January, so we need to wait to see if we qualify for the playoff stage. Everyone is quite tight in points, so anything can still happen. Let's check our players' stats. Lukovic has had a great start of the season with 18 goals and 4 assists. As usual, Harvey's and James are also at the top of the stats, and Watson has contributed a bit more with goals this season. Dance has only played 3 matches but scored 3 goals, so he may have helped us a lot more if he had been given more playtime. And Mikic, who in theory came to be our bench right back, has played 24 matches with 2 goals, so that's quite good. Fernandez has contributed with less goals but is the assist leader along with James. We've decided to make the fourth transfer during the winter transfer market. Kanjitsky hasn't had the performance we expected from our bench midfielder, so just in case he doesn't step up during the second half of the season, we've decided to ask for the loan of an experienced midfielder as we don't have enough budget to buy him. We welcome Orel Mangala joining us on a 6-month loan deal. And this is the team at the end of the winter transfer market. Almost all players have improved even more after the first half of the season, and even some like Mikic, who was a bench player, will be playing before Dijkstra, who hasn't improved that much these last months. Mullen is still part of the team, and hopefully he won't retire before we attempt to win the Champions League. So we've qualified for the next round of the Europa League without having to play the playoff stage. Hopefully we can get far in this competition. So let's move on and see where we are at the end of the season. And we're in position 4, which means we'll be playing Champions League next season. This was our main objective for this season, so it's great news. Let's see what happened in all the other competitions. West Ham United has won the FA Cup, and we've reached the semi-finals for the first time. We were eliminated by Manchester City, but it was tight, so very happy with this result too. Newcastle United has won the Carabao Cup. Let's see how we've done in this competition. And we lost against Chelsea in round 3. Manchester City has won the UEFA Super Cup. Bayer Leverkusen has won the Champions League. Strasbourg has won the Europa League. Let's see how far we got. So we've also reached the semi-finals of the Europa League. This is a great result for being our first season in Europe. We previously eliminated FC Porto and Royal Antwerp. And Lazio has won the Conference League. Lukovic has had an extraordinary second half of the season. He's ended up with 41 goals and 7 assists. Harvey's with 19 goals and 6 assists, and James with 12 goals and 17 assists have had a fantastic season too. Watson, Longman and Beck, the usual players who keep giving a great performance. And also Fernandez, who's ended up with 13 assists and 5 goals. In general, everyone has improved a lot. Probably Dance has been the player from whom we expected a lot more. So let's move on to the next season. So we start a new season with our biggest transfer in this rebuild. This player comes to bring a major improvement to our midfield. Watson has had a great performance so far, but his overall level has been stuck for a while. I've decided he'll be our bench midfielder, so our first transfer this season can be a key player in our starting 11 along with James. We welcome Archie Gray, joining us on a £53 million transfer. Since Okongwu left the team after submitting a transfer request, our main goalkeeper Pereira Cardoso has improved a lot and has become a key player. However, our second goalkeeper Andriy has barely had any playtime with the team. Therefore, we've approached Okongwu again, who has accepted our offer and will become one of the original Wrexham players ending the rebuild as part of the team. So we welcome Arthur Okongwu again on an exchange deal for Andriy plus £1 million. Our third transfer joins us to either play as a right or left midfielder. While Kumas and Fernandez are being key players in our starting 11, Longman's progress is stuck, so I believe we need a player in the bench that can give us a plus to perform well in European competitions. We welcome Andreas Skop Olsen, joining us on a 1-year loan deal as we don't have enough budget to make a transfer for a player like him. For now, this is the team at the end of the transfer market. Almost all the players have improved a lot. We've done so far 3 transfers this season and we'll wait until the winter transfer market to see what we need as a possible 4th transfer. This season the main objective is to qualify again for Champions League and to try to get as far as possible in this year's edition. So let's move on to January and see where we are. It's the 1st of January and we're in position 2, which is absolutely amazing. We're 9 points away from the first position, but it's great to see how much the team has grown so far. So we're in position 10 of the Champions League, but there are still 2 more matches left to be played in January of the league stage. So we need to wait to see if we pass directly to the next stage or if we qualify for the playoff stage. Scott Olsen has been recalled because probably he didn't play many matches, so we'll have to get a new player and use our 4th transfer this season. But first, let's check our players' stats. Lukovic is leading the goals stats again, and the usual players keep being our top performers like James, Harris, Kumas and Fernandes. Our right back Mikic has improved a lot and fast, and he's even contributed with 4 goals. So in order to replace Scott Olsen, we've loaned in a player who's previously played with us. We welcome Berat Lush, joining us on a 6-month loan deal. This is the team at the end of the winter transfer market. I believe we have chances to do good in both Champions League and Premier League, as we have some players who have improved a lot in our starting 11, and our bench players level has increased a lot too. So let's move on and see what position we've ended up in the league stage of the Champions League. So we've ended up in position 5, which means we'll pass directly to the next stage without having to play the playoff stage. Let's move on and see who's our rival in the round of 16. And we'll be facing Atletico de Madrid in the round of 16 of the Champions League. This is going to be a tough rival, so let's simulate the first match. And it's a draw, 1-1 with goal by Harris on our side. We're ready for the second match against Atletico de Madrid. Let's simulate. And it's a win, 1-0 with goal by Kumas, and we're through to the next round. These are the results of the round of 16 of the Champions League. And these are the quarter-final matches where we'll be facing Bayer Leverkusen. If you're liking this video and you aren't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below. Hit the like button and activate the notifications bell so you don't miss on a lot of FC25 content. We're gonna be bringing you several videos every week with full series of FC25 career mode, rebuilds and much more. Here we are ready to play our first match against Bayer Leverkusen. Let's simulate. And it's a loss, 1-2, so we'll have to win in Germany if we want to pass to the next round. And the second match has arrived. Let's simulate. And it's a loss again, 2-1 with goal by James on our side. So here ends our Champions League journey this season. However, we've done quite well considering it's the first time ever we play the competition. Hopefully next season we can attempt to win it. These are all the quarter-final results. So let's move on to the end of the season and see how we did in Premier League. And we're in position 2, far from the first position, but also with 6 points different with the third. So it's a great result. Also, we'll be playing Champions League next season again, which is the main objective. So let's see what's happened in all the other competitions. So we've won the FA Cup on penalties against Brighton, our first title in this rebuild. And now let's update the trophy count in this rebuild. Hopefully we can add some more next season. West Ham has won the Carabao Cup. Bayer Leverkusen has won the UEFA Super Cup. Lombardia FC or Inter Milan has won the Champions League on an all-Milan final. As seen before, we reached quarterfinals where we lost against Bayer Leverkusen. Juventus has won the Europa League and Lille has won the Conference League. Once more, Lukovic, Harris, James, Kumas and Fernandes are leading the team's stats on goals and assists. As we saw in January, our right back Mikic has improved a lot and is helping a lot in our attack. In general, all players have improved a lot. So let's move on to the next season. This is the budget for the season. I think we'll be able to add some good players to the team. As the loan for Berat Lush has ended, our first transfer is a player who can play as left or right midfielder and even as a striker. I believe he'll be able to contribute a lot in our attack, along with Kumas and Fernandes. We welcome Santiago Lopez, joining us on a £31,700,000 transfer. I have decided to sell Dan since he hasn't improved more during the last 2 seasons and we need a striker who contributes with more goals. So our second transfer is a striker who will likely start from the bench, but who I believe can give us a good number of goals along with Lukovic. We welcome Ori Oskarsson, joining us on a £45,500,000 transfer. Javier Mas has not had much playtime since Beck, Mikic and Dijkstra always play before him. So our third transfer is a centre-back who can also play as left-back, who I believe will increase a lot the level of our bench defenders. We welcome Callum Doyle, joining us on an exchange deal for Mas, plus £7,500,000. For now, this is the team at the end of the transfer market. We've done so far 3 transfers this season and we'll wait until the winter transfer market to see what we need as a possible 4th transfer. I believe this time we have a good chance to win the Champions League, but we'll have to wait for that. So let's move on to January and see where we are. It's the 1st of January and we're in the 1st position, which is absolutely amazing. We're 4 points away from the 2nd position and hopefully we can keep this way until the end of the season and win the Premier League. So we're in position 7 of the Champions League, but there are still 2 more matches left to be played in January of the league stage. So we need to wait to see if we pass directly to the next stage or if we qualify for the playoff stage. Lukovic keeps leading the goal stats. James has become probably our best player with lots of goals and also assists. For the first time, Gray is appearing as well as one of the best players in the team, along with Javis. Kumas and Fernandez's stats are a bit more discreet, but the overall level has increased a lot too. This is the team at the end of the winter transfer market. I believe we have chances to win both Champions League and Premier League. So let's move on and see what position we've ended up in the league stage of the Champions League. So we've ended up in the 3rd position, which means we'll pass directly to the next stage without having to play the playoff stage. Let's move on and see who's our rival in the round of 16. And we'll be facing Bayer Leverkusen. Hopefully we can win them this time. Here we are, ready for our first match against Bayer Leverkusen. Let's simulate. And it's a win, 0-1 with goal by Fernandez on our side. And it's time for the second match against Bayer Leverkusen. Let's simulate. And it's a draw, 2-2 with goals by Kumas and James on our side. And this means we're through to the next round. These are the results of the round of 16. And these are the quarterfinal matches where we'll be facing Juventus. Here we are, ready for our first match against Juventus. Let's simulate. And it's a win, 3-0 with goals by James twice and Fernandez. And it's time for the second match against Juventus. Let's simulate. And it's a draw, 1-1 with goal by Javis on our side. And we're through to the semi-finals for the first time ever in this rebuild. These are the quarterfinal results. And these are the semi-final matches where we'll be facing Lombardia FC. Here we are, ready for our first match against Lombardia FC. Let's simulate. And it's a draw, 2-2 with goals by Javis and James on our side. And it's time for the second match against Lombardia FC. Let's simulate. And it's a win, 1-2 with goals by James twice. And we're in the final of the Champions League. Let's find out who is our rival. But first, these are the semi-final results. Manchester City eliminated Valencia, which means we'll be facing Manchester City in the Champions League final. It's going to be a tough match, but exciting at the same time. But before playing the final, let's move on to the end of the season and see how we did in Premier League. And we're in the 1st position, with champions of the Premier League. This is an amazing result, 2 points more than Liverpool, who ends up 2nd. Having won the FA Cup last season, winning now the Premier League, hopefully this season we win the Champions League too. For now, let's update the trophy count in this rebuild, and let's see what's happening in all the other competition. We lost the Community Shield against Arsenal. It's a shame as it looks like it was a tight result. Liverpool has won the FA Cup. Let's see how we did in this competition. So we were eliminated by Liverpool in round 5. Wolverhampton has won the Carabao Cup. Let's see how we did in this competition. We lost against Everton in round 4. Lombardia FC has won the UEFA Super Cup. Strasbourg has won the Europa League. And Lazio has won the Conference League. Let's check our players' stats. Lukovic, Havis and James have all scored more than 20 goals, with James adding 17 assists to his stats, which is fantastic. Kumas, Gray and Fernandes have also been key with goals and assists too. And surprisingly, Paul Mullen has played 18 matches and scored 1 goal, but his overall is only 44. It makes no sense really, and even more when our second striker, Orvi Oskarsson, has played less matches and hasn't even scored 1 goal. And speaking about Paul Mullen, he's retiring at the end of the season, so we'll make him play the last minutes of the Champions League final to give him a proper goodbye from the club. And this is the starting 11 to play the final of the Champions League. I've added Paul Mullen in the place of Okongwu, as I hope we won't need to change our main goalkeeper during the match. And also I'd rather keep in the bench Oskarsson in case we need more options in our attack. And the day has arrived. Let's see what happens in this Champions League final. So here we are in Madrid, ready to play the final against Manchester City. The trophy and our players are ready. It's been a long road to get here, playing against tough teams, but we still need to do the hardest part, which is winning this final. The whole team has improved a lot, with some of them like Beck and James, who join us in the second season of this rebuild and who have become some of the best players in their positions. Hopefully we can end the rebuild by winning this Champions League and seeing how Paul Mullen retires lifting this trophy. So let's crack on. Gray wins the ball. Great run. He passes for Havis, who quickly sees Kumas. Kumas has a great opportunity. He shoots, but the goalkeeper blocks. Great block there after a good shot by Kumas. Manchester City attacking. Mikic clears the ball. Beck passes for Kumas with a header. Kumas for James, who passes for Gray. Gray for Mikic. Good pass for Fernandes. He tries to assist Lukovic, but the goalkeeper saves. Corner for Manchester City. The player shoots and an amazing block by Pereira Cardoso. Clear opportunity for Manchester City and fantastic block from our goalkeeper to keep the 0-0. Manchester City with the ball. Great passing between their players. They shoot, but Pereira Cardoso blocks again. We can let them have these clear shot opportunities. Manchester City with the ball again. We can stop the player. They shoot, but Mokyo blocks and sends the ball to corner. Great defending there by Mokyo, avoiding a possible goal for them. Havis with the ball. Good pass for Fernandes. Great run. Good control there. He passes for Havis, who passes for Lukovic. Lukovic for Beck. He passes for James. Good pass for Havis. He attempts a great assist for Fernandes, but the defender clears the ball. It's the second half. Manchester City with the ball. Good pass for the striker, who tries to shoot. Great tackle by Beck. The striker almost wins the ball again, but Pereira Cardoso saves. Manchester City attacking again. They pass for the striker, but Mokyo is superb today and clears the ball with a great tackle. Manchester City with the ball. Great tackle by Mikic, who passes for Havis. He passes for Lukovic, who shoots, but sends the ball too high and he misses a great opportunity. We change Gray and Kumas for Watson and Lopez. Corner for Manchester City. Mikic with a header and Beck tries to clear the ball, but one of the players blocks it. Great opportunity for them, but Pereira Cardoso blocks once more. Corner again for Manchester City. Mikic clears the ball with a header, great control by Lopez, who starts our attack. Fantastic pass for Fernandez, who runs towards the goalie. He stops, maybe he should pass the ball, but he shoots instead, and the ball goes up by little. He's missed a clear opportunity. It was a good shot, but other players had a better shooting position than him. Manchester City with the ball. Beck clears the ball with a header, passing the ball for James, who passes for Lopez. Good control there. He passes for Javis. He shoots, but that's easy for the goalkeeper, who blocks and saves. And the moment has arrived. Even though we're still 0-0, Paul Mullen can't leave this club without playing this final, so we change Lukovic for Paul Mullen. Manchester City with the ball. Good pass for the striker. Heaven tries blocking the ball, but they still manage to make a pass. They shoot, but Pereira Cardoso blocks. The match is almost over. Corner for Manchester City. Mikic tries to control the ball, but he loses it. They try with a header, but Pereira Cardoso saves. He passes the ball for Beck, who passes for Lopez. But there's no time for more, and we'll have to play another 30 minutes. 0-0, and both teams have had clear opportunities that could have changed this result. We change Heaven for Hughes. Mokyo with the ball. He passes for Watson, who loses the ball. They have a clear shot, but Mokyo blocks. Hughes tries to clear the ball, and he successfully passes for Watson on his second attempt. Manchester City with the ball. Hughes clears it with a header, passing it to James. James for Fernandez. Good control there. He's trying to find a good shot opportunity, but instead he passes for Mullen, leaving him alone. He shoots and it's in. Oh my god, Paul Mullen scores the 0-1 with 20 minutes left to play off this final. It couldn't have happened any better. The club legend scoring what could be the most important goal in the club's history. He's over the moon, and the fans too. Fantastic assist by Fernandez and great move by Mullen for a face-to-face with the goalkeeper. Fantastic definition too by Paul Mullen to score this amazing goal. It's his first goal in this competition, although apparently he already played 4 matches this season. Beck passes for Lopez, who passes for James, but he loses the ball. No one can stop the player. He's about to shoot, but Mokyo blocks last minute and saves us from what was the clear 1-1. It looks like Pereira Cardoso would not have blocked this, so Mokyo was crucial to avoid this goal. Manchester City with the ball. With not being able to stop them. They shoot, but Pereira Cardoso blocks. Another clear opportunity by them, but another fantastic save by our goalkeeper. The match is almost over. Corner for Manchester City. Mikic tries to block, but the player reaches the ball first. They almost shoot, but Pereira Cardoso avoids it with a great save. He tries to clear the ball for Lopez, but he loses it. They have another clear shot, but Pereira Cardoso blocks again, sending the ball to corner. He's not happy, but it all started with a bad pass towards Lopez from him, although he fixed it with his save. Corner again for Manchester City. Mikic clears the ball with a header. Great control by Lopez, who tries to clear it. The player blocks it, but there's no time for more. The referee says the match is over and we're officially Champions League winners. Our fans are full of joy celebrating this major title, and the players too. Everyone is celebrating this victory after a very hard match. It's time to receive the trophy. I have tried making Paul Mullen the captain, but couldn't change it, so it will be James, the one lifting the trophy tonight. He's been in the club for almost the very beginning of this rebuild. We've seen him become probably the best midfielder around, so he also deserves this moment. And here he goes, he lifts the trophy up to the sky, and we're officially the best team in the world. Players celebrating with the fans. It's been a long road, but they finally made it. We're Champions League winners, and this group of players deserve this big moment. And this is the official Champions League winners picture. It's great to see Paul Mullin there as well before his retirement. So after this great victory, it's time to update the trophy count in this rebuild. We've managed to win Champions League, Premier League and FA Cup, which is amazing. It's been a long road, 8 seasons to complete this rebuild, but I really like the team we've built, seeing the amazing progress that some players have had. If you've also enjoyed this rebuild, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe down below so you don't miss on a lot of FC25 content. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next rebuild very soon.